saying, Coach, congratulations on getting this big opportunity. If anybody deserved this opportunity, I would say you, Coach, because I think your experience is going to play key. Like I sent you a message. I think that coming to this fight, I think a lot of people are not giving your fighter a chance. Which will we say, Coach?
Well, I don't blame them. I
Yeah.
don't. I don't blame the people. I don't blame the fans. I don't blame the media. I mean, Canelo Alvarez is the fighter of the moment, and he's fighting a guy that honestly maybe 90% of the fans don't even know who he is. But
Mm,
that's the start. To me, I mean, every fighter gets that opportunity, and if he takes advantage of it, obviously they will know him. It's like, I mean, if you go back in history, nobody knew who Manny Pacquiao was, but Manny Pacquiao got an opportunity for a world title. He came in, took advantage of it, and won. And from that moment on, everybody knew Manny Pacquiao.
yeah.
Uh, we are in that position. We're in that position where, yeah, nobody knows who Avni is. And like I said, I don't have nothing against it, against that. I'm open to opinions. Everybody has freedom of opinion. I don't mind. I mean, we're just doing our job.
Yeah.
Um, I'm giving myself 100% to the work that I'm putting into my fighter, and I have material to build something, and this is an entertainment business. I like it. It's a challenge for me. I really love the fact that I'm part of it. I'm really thankful. I really appreciate the Canelo team for giving us the opportunity, giving Abney the opportunity, and most of all, I met Avni Yildirim no, it was 2019. Uh, I was asked if I could train him, and I said, "Oh, sure." So they brought him to my gym, started training him. I noticed that this kid really needed that help because he was very robotic. He needed a lot of work. And to me, all the time that we spent together since the beginning of the pandemic, um, it helped us because there was no fights, there was no boxing activity. So we just dedicated to teach him. We dedicated time to teach him, make him better, change him up, and he learns. He learns. He loves the sport, and he's a different fighter. All I can say is this: Canelo is a great fighter all around. Um, we're gonna go do our job. Obviously, like every other fighter that has stepped in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, everybody's looking for that surprise, for that upset. Let's be realistic. We have a tough task in front of us. And that's why every single every single fan, every single person that gives their opinion, and we respect it. We respect it because if I was if I was in the same position as a fan, I didn't know who Avni Yildirim is, I would probably do the same. I would probably be the same way. I didn't know who he is. Really didn't hear much about him, and it's just that's just the way the sport rolls.
Yeah, due to the odds and like you just mentioned, a lot of people aren't familiar with the name or what he like, in terms of him boxing. I would say the last time the boxing world has felt an upset, I would say, was Andy Ruiz beating Anthony Joshua the first time around. And with that victory for Andy Ruiz, he became like a superstar overnight. Do you feel like with the power of social media, the same effect could happen with Avni if he was to defeat a lot of people consider him the face of boxing Canelo. Do you feel like that same effect will happen for Avni, not
Well,
not
look,
professional
just
career, but outside of that?
imagine a few years ago, the face of boxing was Manny Pacquiao. Okay, and I mean, um, you saw Juan Manuel Marquez. He did his job and he became like a superstar. Obviously, Juan Manuel Marquez, a lot of people knew him. He's a Mexican fighter, one of the greatest. And Andy Reese, with a short notice, he took the fights against Anthony Joshua, and look what he did. That's why a lot of people that don't know the sport is this. Um, they don't give Abney a chance. That's fine, but remember, he has hands. He's been boxing since he was 16, 15 years old. Abney is a kid that can fight. He is physically strong. He's bigger than Canelo, and he helped Canelo spar for two camps, for the Triple G camps. Actually, today after lunch, him and I went for a walk, and I was telling him, you know what? You already know him, and based on that, you know what he used to land on you. You know the things that he did good against you. So we're gonna make those things better. He goes, I know, coach. There's no problem. He goes, I spark Canelo for two camps. It's great. He's a good fighter, but I got this. But now, since I started working with him, he's got more speed, more power, more boxing ability. He's a smarter fighter. Most of all, the confidence that he has is that he listens to me, and he tells me, coach, I listen to you. Everything's good. I go, because I'm fighting with you. I am one of the coaches I'm in the corner and I'm fighting the fight with you. If you listen to me, you'll be fine. Coach, I got it. Yesterday he sparred 8 rounds with two different sparring partners, and every time I would tell him, hey, do this, he will do it, and then he will be happy because it worked. He will show me like, hey, it worked. I go, I want you to do the same thing. He believes in me and I believe in him. I mean, I don't care about the people. People are always gonna talk. There's always gonna be people on social media everywhere. They're gonna be, giving their comments. If they're good or bad, we need them regardless. Because if the comments are good or bad, we need it because the fight's gonna sell anyways. There's people that know the boxing. They want to watch the fight because they want to see Canelo. At the same time, there's those negative fans that, oh, Canelo's gonna knock out this guy, but they're still gonna watch the fight. So we need them because at the end of the day, they're watching the fight, and everybody goes in there and does their job. We entertain the people. We give people something to talk about. We get paid and we go home.
Yeah, I did want to actually, coach, because I seen most of your interviews promoting this fight, and I'm hopefully I'm the first one to ask you this in terms of a perspective of a coach, right? Because like we said in the beginning of the interview, you have experience fighting one of like some of the biggest names of boxing of the last 10 plus years, right? In
Mm.
regards to preparing a fighter for the big fights, right? Like just compare and contrast the Manny Pacquiao and this fight with Canelo. What are some similarities, and what makes this fight with Canelo maybe a little bit more harder to prepare for Canelo than when you was preparing Tim Bradley for Manny Pacquiao? You can, coach.
Look, there's not a lot of difference. Everything's the same. It's like I prepare my fighters since the first day I start working with them. And the thing is this: you gotta prepare mentally first. A fight is a fight. You know, Avni knows that he's going in a fight, and I tell him, have no respect, because if a fight with Canelo is just a fight, the same thing as a fight with Anthony Durrell, Eubank. It's the same thing, but on a bigger stage. You know what I mean? That's all it is. I mean, it's like when you go to the gym and you get in there and you do some sparring, you spar 10, 12 rounds. I mean, it's the same thing. You going in there, you exchanging punches, you getting hit. I mean, it's it's a full contact sport. Just going in there and fighting a Canelo Alvarez that obviously is a name, respect that. I mean, basically, it's a fight just like any other one. There's fights that are harder, but you gotta prepare mentally. Today, every day we go out for a walk and we talk about the situation, and I tell them, all you have to do, believe in yourself, and once you get in that ring, have no respect. After the fight, you have respect for the man. Before the fight, you respect the man. In the ring, you don't respect him. After the fight, you respect him again. It's a sport. And he tells me, okay, coach, I got you. I got you. It's like I'm telling him right now, what I'm doing is I'm the architecture right now, and I'm building something.
Mm.
I gotta build a structure. Right now, you're my material, and I have a lot of material to build something. I mean, he has proven to me in this week that we've been working together that regardless if people give him a chance or not, I give him a big chance because I know what I'm working with. And one of the mistakes that a lot of trainers do and a lot of fighters, I mean, they don't put in the proper work. I consider myself a trainer that puts in the proper work when it comes to preparing a fighter mentally and physically. Remember, you have to push them to the max. Go the extra mile, make them feel the pain. So when they're in the ring, when they feel pain, they're like, okay, I'm already used to it. I'm familiar with this. Some people don't do that. I'm very different. I'm with my fighter all day long. I mean, we wake up together, we go outside, we go run, we run together, uh, come back in, take a shower, we go to breakfast, and I'm talking to him. I'm talking to him. I'm programming him every day. Believe me, Avni is a totally different fighter than what people think he is, and I like that. And people are gonna be surprised of Avni Yildirim February 27th.
Yeah. What is your thoughts about Canelo's last performance, fighting at 168 against Smith in his last fight? Like, do you consider Canelo like one of, like, let's say number one or top three fighter at 168, Coach?
Yeah, well, look, Canelo's a strong fighter. He can fight at 75. He can fight at 168. I'm telling you, I'm a Canelo fan, and regardless, hey, we got this opportunity. We got to take advantage of it. But a lot of people out there, they're just casual, ignorant fans. They're just talking about, oh, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out and this and that. That's fine. We need those people. Those people will never get to the position. They just speak because they can. They're hiding behind a phone. They're hiding behind a computer. That's right. They don't even have that respect. They don't even give respect to a fighter that really sacrifices the mornings, the afternoons, puts out all the work, sacrifices and stuff. You know, I just think that, I mean, you're not gonna get the respect from other people, but there's some people they have common sense, and they say, well, hopefully there's a good fight. Hopefully Abney, surprises the world. It's time for a change. Right now Canelo's been in there for a few years, or as long as he's been there. I mean, we need some excitement in the sport, like we did with Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. I mean, but all these ignorant fans always talking negative instead of giving some the fighters some respect. I mean, they don't live the life of a fighter.
Yeah.
You have to live the life of a fighter to give him respect. And if you don't, all you're gonna do is just
Coach.
make a stupid comment because you can. And those are just the ignorant fans.
Yeah.
But other than that, I honestly think that we are we are walking in the ring against, like I told you, one of the best fighters of the era, Canelo Alvarez. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I have a lot of respect for the man. I do. And I appreciate Canelo and his team for giving us the opportunity. And it happened that I crossed the paths. Uh, we crossed the paths with Avni, and now I got the opportunity to work with him for this fight.
Mm.
He was working with Abel Sanchez, and if he wouldn't have made that transition, Abel Sanchez would have been taking this job.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him. We are people that we work. We are humble people that work to entertain people. You know, and believe me, I lived boxing all my life. I started boxing as I was 13 years old. That's why I respect every single fighter, because I know the sacrifice they put in to make it where they are.
Yeah. I would say one factor that a lot of people don't know in terms of mentally, right, and physically, right, is that right now, right, you guys are currently in another country. I think from you guys to my time zone is 8 hours. You guys have to travel back to get adjusted to the time zone of the fight. A lot of people think it's just travel and good to go. No, you guys, well, not just, well, yes, yourself, but the fighter has to kind of get that sleep routine back to the place that he's going to fight in. Correct, Coach?
Yeah, they're going back to the thing. All these ignorant people, all these ignorant, stupid fans, they're just saying the worst. Excuse my expression.
No, go ahead, Coach.
Oh, they don't know shit. They're just brave enough. They don't show their faces, and they just put down like, oh, he's gonna get knocked the fuck out, or whatever. Okay, whatever. I mean, if that's your opinion, that's fine. But they don't understand that every fighter goes through some stuff before they get to the fight. These people, they are based on what they see on TV only. They don't even have the courtesy to respect the fighter based on the sacrifice, the hard work, the discipline, and everything they do. Avni Yildirim has not fought in 2 years. Okay, he hasn't had activity in 2 years. Okay, so I am here. I left my family, my team, my camp back in India because Avni doesn't have a visa. We were supposed to be in California since last week because they were supposed to give him his visa. Now the embassy is taking some time. I don't know why. So now we extended another week. So this is gonna be our third week. But meanwhile, we're still working. We're still working. We don't stop because it's my job to keep my fighter focused and without no distractions. Here in Turkey, it's just me and him. Last week it was my son motivating Abney, but now it's just me and him. And what I do is I keep him away from distractions. I take away his phone, so that he's focused. He's focused. He's gonna go do his job. I
Yeah.
mean, whatever happens that night, whatever happens, happens. I mean, I'm open to whatever happens. Win, lose or draw. I'm gonna be with my fighter 100%. I'm gonna fight with him from beginning to end. And at the end of the day, people are gonna talk. And this is the way it goes. Let's say for Canelo wins by knockout. That's what everybody was expecting. If it goes to decision, Canelo looked like shit because he won the decision against somebody that nobody knew. And if Abney knocks out Canelo, they're like, whoa, man, this guy is bad. All those ignorant fans that talk so much shit, they'll turn. They're turned. Believe me, they're two-faced. That's the way it is. They jump in the bandwagon and they start saying, "Oh man, I remember this guy before he was bad." But I mean, it is what it is. It's a sport. We're here to entertain people, and at the end of the day, good good opinions and bad opinions are good for us
Yeah. True.
because because we need them. We need people that talk good, and we need people that talk bad.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're watching us do something.
Well, that's part of life, in other words, right? Because
It is. It is. It's part of life.
you're gonna have people that like you, and then you're gonna have people that don't like you. At the end of the day,
We
it's,
need them.
you can't please everybody. You're gonna have
We,
those that don't like you,
we
right? Got you, got you. You said a key word, coach. You said entertainment, and like you